So I'm gonna finish from my first video in recording this. The nurse writes in her report after they were looking for this child. She writes in the report that 3 out of 4 of my kids are born premature. When in fact, if I had this child, all my kids would have been premature. The caseworker also writes in her report that my maternal grandmother and my aunt Lucy Vitello both called the office and confirmed that this baby did, however, exist. However, the dates that she gave, which was September 5th, 2007, as well as October 5th, 2007, my aunt died July 5th, 2007. So it's impossible for her to have seen my aunt or even noticed my aunt when she was already deceased. She also knew who my aunt was because when I had the stroke, she placed my children in her home. So after that, we went to court. At the fact-finding hearing, they find me guilty of child abuse and neglect because I said I had a baby and I didn't under dual circumstances. People may look at this video and say, yeah, right, it doesn't make sense. But that's actually what the court order says, that under dual circumstances and under elaborate circumstances. However, they were never able to prove that whether I had this baby or not. During this time, this girl alleged that I tried to kidnap her baby or that I tried to take her baby. However, she never called the police. She never made a police report. The police were at her house, asked her if she wanted to make a police report. She refused. Subsequently, at the fact-finding hearing, she was supposed to be made present so I can confront my alleged accuser, which the law requires. If she made this allegation, if the allegation is pending in litigation, I have the right to know who made the allegations against me. However, I was denied that right. However, the caseworker testified to what she said. Hearsay. Cannot do that. They also told many lies in the aspect of, they said that I didn't have a seizure disorder. But in September, they had taken my children away 2 years, I think it was a year or two before that, because of my seizure disorder that I had. Because I was in intensive care. I was on life support fighting for my life. They said I couldn't care for my children. They made my doctor come to court. Made my doctor provide proof. Made my doctor provide medical evidence. But now they're saying, a year and a half later, there is no seizure disorder. Another lie that they have told, they said that I didn't have knee surgery. I had my knee surgery done in Dyfs as a result of one of their staff members assaulting me and dislocating my knee. Yeah, it's true. But still to this day, they deny the effects that this worker damaged my knee. And it's documented. Again, another thing. They were ordered to bring my daughter, who was to be evaluated for possible autism. They didn't do that. Another thing, they say that this woman, her boyfriend, isn't a transsexual, and that transsexuals cannot make babies. Well, it's either two things. One, he's not the baby's father, or two, transsexuals can make babies because he's a man who dresses up as a woman. He's not even a man by day, he dresses up as a woman all the time. Dyfs claims that they had no knowledge to the domestic violence that was going on between them. I have proof and forewarned them myself of the domestic violence that had went on because I placed her in a domestic violence shelter. Subsequently, my old caseworker from when I was in Dyfs agreed to have helped me. Yeah, she helped me all right. She allowed them to take away my children. And now I'm facing a termination trial. On March 23rd, 2009, it was ordered by the court that I complete the counseling and then I received my children back. However, that did not happen. Yes, I'm smoking a cigarette because it's this very stressful thing that has happened to me. And I don't understand how any mother can bear this. Some days I don't know where I get the courage and the hope to stay strong. Yeah, they have knocked me down. They have done things to me. But I know I have to stay strong for my kids. Now let me finish completing this story, And then after that, in April, I started the end of March, beginning of April, I started continuing my counseling. During that time, it came about that I had had another kid. Yes, I did have another kid. Not here in the state of New Jersey, but in fact in the state of Pennsylvania. During that time while I had this kid in the state of Pennsylvania, yes, he was ill. Yes, he was born at 6 months premature. Okay? This kid was still in the hospital. Okay? New Jersey has no jurisdiction whatsoever of what goes on in Pennsylvania, just as if you commit a crime. During this time, after finding out, my very own lawyer, okay, she was working with the daughter because she wanted custody. The daughter wanted custody of the baby for whatever purpose she had, okay? She wanted custody because the father is incarcerated. During this time, I refused to give any information about the whereabouts of the baby. She subsequently calls the ambulance and tells them that I try to commit suicide and I try to OD on pills. With that, they committed me to a state hospital, okay? I have witnesses from the hospital, the nurses, that prove that my lawyer said to me, if I don't tell her where the baby is, I'm going to stay here for the rest of my life, and that she would make sure that I do. Subsequently, I was examined inside the hospital because I was obviously committed, and my examination revealed that I did have a baby. However, they said that I was suffering from postpartum depression. So they gave me a medication called Abilify. A medication I was not supposed to be taking because I am a stroke victim and I do have seizure disorder and I have high blood pressure. Subsequently, I was released the next day after determining that I did have a baby, and they decided that they wasn't going to get involved with the legal issues. After that, I go to court and they're saying that I'm mentally ill again. I need new evaluations. Subsequently, the division sends a letter to my therapist stating that I threatened my lawyer. Even though there was no proof, there was no basis for it. The doctor indicated that he had no knowledge to it. My lawyer indicates that she has no knowledge to me threatening her. But the division just seems to know, they're psychic, that I threatened my lawyer. Yeah, I know that may sound sarcastic, but that's the way it appears to be. After that, it was because of the medication that they had given me, it resulted in another stroke. I was discharged on a Thursday. I had the second stroke on a Saturday. I did not know I was suffering from multiple strokes until my friend came and brought me to the hospital. With that, medical center at where I live at in Jersey City said to me, confirmed that I did have a stroke. However, I signed myself out of intensive care. After signing myself out of intensive care, because I had a court proceeding, I did assure them that I was going back, and I did go back. After going back, it went from me having a stroke to me being mentally ill again. However, I signed myself out of there and I went to a different hospital who declared that I was suffering from a severe stroke as a result of taking that Abilify. Gee, coincidence, right? So after that, after I was able to walk and communicate a little bit better, I subsequently continued my therapy and I completed it before we went to court. As you know, the agreement was, as I said in a previous statement, that I would get my children back when I completed my counseling. However, that did not happen. However, they sought another permanency hearing, which in the state of New Jersey, a permanency hearing is to determine the final plan for the children. After determining the final plan for the children, they requested yet another one to change the permanency plan after I completed it. They claim they also have a letter from my job, New Jersey Transit, that I never worked for them. They got a letter from New Jersey that I didn't work for them, but I didn't work in New Jersey. I worked in New York. 2 different places. Same company, but 2 different places. Okay? Not only that, this case is so complex. Okay? After that, the judge ordered new evaluations to determine whether I was a fit parent or not. Because I told her she had no authority to change her decision that she made